I just was starting to wake up my computer like a few minutes
Mm,
ago when I sat
when you
down.
first sat
Yeah.
down, yeah, yeah.
So of course it's trying to do 5,000 things all at once. I don't know if it did an update while I was away today or what, but it's like, oh my gosh. It seems to be getting slower and slower as time passes. So, or I'm getting less patient. I'm not sure which of those fits the bill there, but
Okay, well,
here we go.
oh
Let's give it a
yes,
try.
I see progress.
Progress. Progress. Yeah, we'll try it again here. We had like two things. You click on it and then it didn't open. I thought, well, did I really click on it? Now it's got to go through the thing again. So hopefully it will be more expeditious. So, well, cool. And David, how are things with you? Did you dig yourself out of the hurricane disaster?
Oh yeah, we're life is basically back to normal. The grocery stores, some of the shelves are still kind of bare, but other than that,
Hmm. Yeah, well, I can imagine life's going to be complicated for all the truckers who are accustomed to having Interstate 40 available to them.
yeah.
That's going to be a real drag for a long time.
Yeah, because didn't you say it's going to take them quite a while to
They were saying it'd
fix
be a
it?
year.
Wow, that
Yeah,
is brutal.
which is like, yeah, that's a mess.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's sections where they're completely gone. I mean,
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, you're starting from nothing. Yeah, that is not great. Well, that's looking a whole lot better.
Yes, I can now have a map.
Hey,
Yep.
well, I don't know. I don't know. Do we trust you with maps? I don't know.
Yes.
I
Just
just am
X
worried.
marks the spot.
Yeah.
It's like
I'm
Treasure
worried that you
Island.
might decide to invade Mother Russia if you have a map, so that's not good.
There you go.
All right. Well, speaking of invading Mother Russia, I guess I need to be reminded because that's just what happens at the beginning of every one of these. Is I need to remember what why do pardon me. I went and picked up all my charts from Colon, not from Zorndorf. I'm going to set those aside since I actually don't need them tonight.
That's right. Use them as Tinder or something exciting like that.
I might use them for lining a bird cage.
There you go.
Zorndorf, there's the one I want. And, oh, come on now. All right. Well, that's almost certainly going to be better. And what I was looking for, of course, I could have just asked you, but that wouldn't have been any fun. And that was the difference between our initiative ratings, probably 3, if I remember
yeah.
correctly.
That is correct.
5 and 2 is
5 and 2. All right. Well, then I will chuck some dice.
Okay.
And we will move some mice thereafter. Boom! And that's a big Prussian activation and no advance of the end turn marker.
There you go. Well, David, do you have anything that you want to do that's terribly exciting or just terrible?
well, go for it on your end if you
just,
want.
just terrible. Yeah.
All right. Well,
Stick with what you do well, you know.
exactly. Exactly. Let's see. I will. I'm going to activate these guns here, and I will activate this infantry here. That is who? Claydon, something like that.
What?
These guys over here, whatever their name is. So
Calden.
Calden, there we go.
Calden. Calden.
So, all
All
right,
right. Well, Calden.
good, good, good. So let's see. And my computer is moving. Now I just have a blank screen with units on it. Okay,
Oh,
there we go.
oh, wow. That's amazing.
Yes. Yeah, it's
It's
taking
not
its
good,
time
but it's
refreshing itself.
amazing.
Yeah. I,
Oh, okay.
it
Yep,
could
there
be
it is.
because I've got too many things going on at once, perhaps. But
Okay. All right. Well, all right. So I'm sorry. So the guns that you've activated are the unlimbered
the
ones,
unlimbered ones that are all lined up
along
right here.
along with
Yep, yep,
Calden,
yep,
who's kind of off to the
yep.
right. Okay. Very good.
So
Very good.
we will take a shot, and we've got well, let's see. This guy will take a shot there. So we're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 hexes out. I think we are at 12 hexes. We are times 2.
Two, I think.
So,
Yeah.
yep. So we've got 8 to 10. That's 1 to 1.5. I don't think there's any pluses or minuses. Here we go. A 78. That is a miss.
Yeah.
Yep. All right.
Okay. Well,
Next
good
guy.
work.
These guys will fire at that hex, and we'll see if we can do something exciting there.
Oh, I
And
thought
that
that's who you were
is a
firing at
miss.
the last time. But okay.
I
All right.
was,
Fair
but can
enough.
I mean, I can fire
Changed your
the same
mind.
hex twice, can I? Or you can only fire the same
No.
hex once?
Once.
Oh, okay.
Once each with artillery and with infantry.
Oh, okay. Well, then this guy would have fired at that hex, I guess. And
Yeah.
this guy would have fired at
Okay.
that
Yep.
hex, yeah.
Yep.
All right.
That works.
This guy's going to fire at that hex. Same difference. Here we go. And that's a big miss.
You're getting worse, Eric.
Yeah, well, it's okay. It's all
Well,
a law of averages.
is it?
So
Okay.
we
Well,
are
I was
going
just in
to
Vegas, so
prolong them, and then we are going to mark them as finished.
oh,
They have done their little duty for king and country for this turn. Good. And then we've got these guys are all grenadiers, aren't they? So they can just march right up.
oh wow.
3. Yeah, they can go side face like this. All right. Cool.
All right then.
And we flip them. Okay.
And that was that.
That was that. It's almost like magic.
It's almost like we've done this before.
Indeed. Okay. It's over to
All
somebody
right.
else.
It's your roll.
Oh, that's right. It is. Here we go.
Mhm.
A 32. That's another one for us.
It is another one for you.
All right. David, do you have anything exciting you want to do?
Come on, he bought you 10 minutes to figure it out.
I mean, we can definitely do something here if you want, but let's see, what do we want? Let's see. Yeah. All right, I will do my one of my cavalry guys over here. Let's think of let's do is it this guy? Bredow? Yeah.
Okay.
And so he is these 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, I think. And I will also activate the 2 hussars there.
Okay.
Who's ours?
And let's see what we want to do with that. We got to go. Those are going around that way. All right. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Did he move or did he stretch into another hex?
He stretched.
Okay.
Uh, but I don't think you had enough movement points to do that.
How many did he? Okay.
Well, it would cost you 2 to stretch into the next hex because it's the cost of the hex plus 1.
Oh, it's
I think you'd already spent 6. I mean, don't
why
get me
does
wrong.
it?
If you're willing to rapid march.
Why does it cost you +1 on that? That doesn't. Okay, I'm just used to.
Hell, I don't know. I mean,
Put
it's
him there.
also possible I don't remember, but I think I do. But I don't know. Formation, extension, and contraction, 11.5, page 19, right column. For extension or contraction, each new hex of a line costs a unit 1 movement point in addition to the terrain cost of the hex extended or contracted into and the hex side crossed.
All right.
So I guess he'd just stay in one.
Playing too many different games. Well, you could either stay in one or you could rapid march. I mean, you're clearly in command. You were right next to the command leader when you started the turn, so shouldn't be any difficulty with that.
Yeah, I know. I'll just. All right. So it's 2 points to contract too.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, you mean you didn't account for that when you even started?
No, he was. He was
already contracted. Oh, yeah. Okay. I just noticed the other guy wasn't.
I'm looking at the other guy now because he was.
Okay.
Let's see. But then I can do that. All right. Let me do that. Let me think of that. So, all right. So we want this guy to go 1, 2, 3.
I'm still confused what you're doing with that Hussar you moved.
I moved him back 1.
Oh, you moved him back 1. I see. You moved him back 1, so he was only at 5, so now he's at 7. Okay. I misunderstood. Very good. Thank you.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Now, what is the
6.
movement effect cost of the tape? Does the transparent tape cause any sort of? It seems like it should cost you extra movement points. I mean, it's sticky, right?
Yeah, it's like in Star Trek when you reach the edge of the galaxy. You try to go out beyond the edge of the galaxy. You got to hit warp 10 or something like that.
It's like the Tholian web that's been built across this map.
There you go.
Wow.
There you go.
This guy in 2 hexes when he wheels is this 1 or 2 there?
That would be 2. Again, it's 1 movement point plus the cost of the hex you moved into. So that's 2 to do that.
Which I don't quite understand because if he was in 1 hex, the one that's only moving is here to here, and that's 1.
Oh well, I promise you, if you'd ever been in marching band, you'd know.
I have been in marching band.
Well, but maintaining maintaining alignment during a wheel is miserable.
5, 6, 7. All right. And
those guys are serious. Those are death head hussars there. They've got the little skull and crossbone on them.
Oh,
yeah.
That's not good.
Yeah. I'd worry.
Does it mean
if
they're
I were you,
SS?
Michael.
Is that what this is?
They are not.
They're not SS. Okay.
They are not
Just
SS.
asking.
Yeah, you want me to get demonetized? Keep talking that
Oh,
way.
jeez. Oh, yeah. Yeah, because that's pretty much the only thing making the mortgage payment is the monetization of this, right?
All right, so
No
we've had a couple of
response.
people ask, what game system is this? So this is the Battles of the Age of Reason. This is a game published by Clash of Arms. The first in the series was published back in the late '90s, I think, and they've put out a number of them. And it's dealing with battles during the time period of this 7 Years' War. For most of them are ones with Frederick the Great versus various and sundry enemies. So this is Frederick the Great versus the Russians. Um, and this is what, 1780? No,
58.
1740, no, 58.
58. Yeah,
Yeah,
there's also games from the War of the Austrian Succession, which was the general war just before this in the 1740s, and then there are some that are from uh, the American Revolution
American
as well.
Revolution. Yeah. So we did a play of what was it? It was not Germantown, but it was Brandywine,
Randy,
and that was about
Randy.
Brandywine.
a year ago,
I'll
maybe.
bet it
Yeah, at
was.
least a
Yeah.
year ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did
Yeah.
that one.
Hmm.
And
All right, that's the end of
yeah.
mine. I'll roll the dice for the next turn here while you continue on. 2-8.
Aha.
There we go.
Oh,
First one.
Aha.
there's one for the Russians.
Now the trap closes.
Be afraid, be very afraid.
Be very afraid. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. Okay. Um. Yeah. So I think this one shows a copyright of 1995, which means Colin was presumably 93 or 94, I
Yeah.
guess. So the game system got picked up after the first, I don't know, 5 or 6 titles had come out, maybe 7 titles, by the current game runner, the current showrunner, I guess you might say. Um, and there have been a number of them added since. And the rules we're using are the most up to date rules for the system. And eventually I'm going to find the chart I'm after. Aha! I found the chart I'm after.
It's time to worry
Okay.
when you're looking for a chart.
Absolutely, you should be worried. You should be mortified, petrified. Okay, all right. Well, then we'll start with finding out somebody who needs to move.
Yes.
Somebody who needs to move.
And you may even be able to do a wing with that rule, right?
I don't think so. I think I need a 9.
Oh, really? Okay.
I'm pretty sure he's pretty terrible. Wing activation number for him is pretty terrible. No, it is 8.
Yeah,
It is
yeah.
8. Okay. Oh, wow, a wing. Oh, this is heady stuff. Of course, since I'm on the defensive, I'm not really sure I need it, but whatever. Let's see. Whom would I like to put in the place? Oh, I'm thinking. No, he's okay. He's already got that covered. Yeah. All right. Well, never mind. Everything's fine here. Everything's fine. I will go ahead and activate the cavalry leader. He'll have to roll to put himself in command because he's 100 million miles away from the. Well, he's definitely not in command. Okay, got that figured out. All right. We're gonna do. Thought I knew what I was going to do. No, I'm not sure. All right, well, whatever. We'll just do it. And while we're at it, I'm going to go ahead and activate the 12 pounders just because need to keep you honest.
There you go.
Yeah.
I'm nothing if not dishonest.
Okay. All right. So that is, yeah, there's 4 12 pounders.
Yep,
And I guess I will just target um,
sure. That's this.
the, the source of my difficulty.
Yep.
I guess
So
that's
it's
right.
it's a 1 to 1.5, but you'll have a plus 20.
1 to 1.5 plus 20. Cowabunga.
Yep.
Uh,
And that
but would you
is,
said plus 80? Did you say plus 80? No.
yeah,
Well, that's really a shame. Okay, well, that's there'll be more turns,
exactly.
and you'll be
Exactly.
even closer.
That is the idea.
Almost certainly, yeah, whether I like it or not. And then I'm gonna flip him over just so we got him covered. All right, and then we're just gonna move the cavalry here a little bit. We're gonna do. Eventually, I'm gonna actually select everybody I mean to select. There we go. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's not good, but oh well. Um, is there a better way to do this?
It depends on what you're trying to achieve.
I'm not really going to tell you.
Oh,
See,
okay.
because I don't really see that being really in my interest.
Okay. Okay. I'm just trying to be helpful.
Oh, you are splendidly helpful. No question of it. So if I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, well, yeah, all right. So what the heck? All right. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And actually, they're all going to do the exact same thing. Like that. And I'll I'll just I'll just do that. All right, so that's enough for the moment. Ah, there we go. All right, that was it. A big fat nothing. A big fat nothing sandwich.
All right. We'll go ahead and roll to see who has the initiative.
Aha, it is my turn, isn't it? All right. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. All right.
It's a
Now,
Russian 7. What is a
Russian
Russian 7?
7. Russian
Leader
7.
initiative. Pick one command for free movement segment only.
Movement
Initiative
segment
required.
only. Initiative required.
Oh, no.
Okay.
Nope, I was reading the Prussian one.
Oh, God, that is so easy to do.
This is special rally.
Oh.
Pick a
Well,
command to perform a free disorder recovery.
I'm pretty sure I don't have any. That's interesting. Does it literally say just that?
It says pick a command and perform a free disorder recovery phase and rally phase.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't have any use for it, of course,
Yeah.
because I don't think I got anybody who's disordered or shaken or routed. So we'll just roll again. And this will advance the clock. And it's going to be over to y'all, all y'all.
It is. That's exciting.
Yes.
All right.
As we sit
David, did you have
south.
anything else you wanted to do? Otherwise, I'll push a few pieces around on the map.
Yeah, go ahead. We can
Okay, that's
push one
exciting.
now.
All right. Well, I'm going to activate one of Seydlitz's cavalry over here.
But
So,
which one? Which
one
one?
Malachowski.
Speaking of Russian generals with German names.
Exactly. This is a German general with a Polish name, from the
Mm-hmm.
sounds of it. So, let's see. And I think I will activate. I think I'll activate these guns here so I can move them around a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So let's go ahead and um, all right, we're going to move these guys. Whoops. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. I think that gets them there. And then this guy's got to move because they all have to stay within some proximity of each other, right?
Who's that?
The Hussars. Remember, did you
Oh,
say they're
they
all
don't
part
have
of the
they
same?
don't have to. Oh well, I mean, yeah, I mean, obviously you want to keep them all within proximity to. Yes, yes, in order to remain in command for next turn.
Right, right. That's what
Yes,
I think
agree.
we had talked about, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so I'm not just making that up.
No, no, no. Sorry, I misunderstood your intent there.
Okay, all right. So there's that, and there's that, and then there's that. So they should all be 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. They should all be good. All right. Bup, 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 bup.
I I gotta confess, I imagine since you didn't go very many hexes, you probably could do what you just did, but
Yeah,
for
I
all
mean,
the
I kind of
reasons that
figured they would consolidate, move, whatever. But yeah, they only moved like 4 hexes or something
yeah,
silly.
all right.
I should probably just consolidate this guy and make life easier for everybody. There we go. And then this guy can consolidate as well. All right. We'll have this guy move forward, and then we will have him unlimber. Boom. And then these guys are going to go 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. Just chipping along and mark them all as finished. All part of my evil plan.
I believe you.
Yep.
All right.
Evil plan number 1. Okay. That's it for me.
Think you need
Let
to
me
flip the
just flip
leader,
that guy over. Yep. Yeah.
and I think it's your roll, isn't it?
It is if you rolled the
All
last
right.
one. So that's actually one for you.
Mm-hmm.
You
Gadzooks.
guys are just going to be
Um,
moving at the speed of lightning here.
when I started, as as the good comedian Ron White said, we were flying at the speed of smell.
There you go.
Why that just amused me a great deal. It's probably the fancy way he said it. Hmm. Okay, just looking around, see who else needs to do something here. Do, 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 do. I think they're okay. All right, well, we'll go ahead and activate somebody just to get the tension over with. It's going to be this guy who's almost certainly unpronounceable, especially as small as the letters are. Leon Leontiev.
Leontiev. You
Mm-hmm.
have to say it with feeling.
Yeah. Say it with fromage. All right. 1, 2, 3. Actually, it was just one, two, and whoops. That's not what I meant. I think that's it, and I'll go ahead and activate all the baggage trains while I'm at it.
Oh, there we go. Our favorite.
Um, yeah. Okay. All right. So it's really weird because of the interpretation of the rule that we were doing.
What
That
what was that? I thought
that
they
they
just moved
can't
one
cross.
hex or something.
Oh yeah. I mean that's easy.
Okay.
That's not the problem. The problem was that they're not allowed to cross any non-clear hex sides, which
Ah,
means that
yes.
there's a whole lot of the map that they're not allowed to move on.
Right.
And he'll go there, and then I guess I'll send him there. All right, and then I'm gonna mark somebody else as finished, so I can. God dang it! And it's not the finished I meant. There we go.
You probably have some Finnish somewhere in your army.
I
Oh,
oh,
actually,
almost
no.
certainly.
Finland is part of Sweden at this point.
Well, there's probably some, you know, freedom fighters
There you go. Some
that are
Finnish
that are.
that want to be under Russian domination.
That's right, so very much.
Because the Swedes are not nice at all, but the Russians,
Oh
we know they'll
no, the
treat us
Russians
better. Yeah,
so considerate and
they
kind
are.
and
They are.
oh totally.
Yeah.
All right. David, time to
Boom.
roll. Who that looks like a wing for y'all.
That is easily because it looks like Frederick is a 5 for us for wings,
Yep.
if I'm looking at it correctly. So,
Mm-hmm.
so David, do
Which
you?
is a lot.
It is. It is. It's nice to be able to do a whole wing and a ding. So, you've got a wing over there with your infantry. If you want to activate them and push them around, that would be terrific. I'm sure.
Um, no, I was thinking it's just keeping them moving by commands here, but whatever.
Okay. Well, you could do whatever you like. I don't have a need for a wing per se.
So,
So you've got two commands part of Dona's wing, is that right?
So
Yeah,
let's see.
Bulow.
Yeah. So there's Dona's got
Oh,
3,
he's got
right?
three. I
He's
see a
got
third one now. Yeah,
Gablins,
yeah. Right.
Braunschweig, and Bülow.
And Bueller,
Bueller,
Bueller.
Bueller. That
So that's
never gets
interesting.
old. That never
No,
gets
it
old.
never does.
Yeah.
Never does.
I think I'll finish with my cavalry over here on the right, but
Okay.
All right.
uh,
See, wing activations are so cheap for you guys that you just you throw them away.
Well, we're going to use them when it's critical. We're
Hmm.
saving them up. I'm
Oh no!
Yeah,
Again,
we put them in a little bucket. There's a little wing activation jar.
I just left Vegas, and I can assure you that's not how this works.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
sorry, but
That's
it's true.
disappointing.
It is. It is.
All right.
You know, I had a thought over the week,
Right.
thinking about this optional rule that we're doing. You know, it's interesting because they added the tenacious Russians rule because they said that the game seemed like it was pretty consistently unbalanced in favor of the Prussians,
Okay.
and so that was an it was like an optional rule that got added to the original game, and then when Matthew redid the rules, he basically just made it part of the game.
Right.
Um, But I was just thinking that with the line movement rule that we've got that we're using, I'm realizing again it helps the attacker, right? It reduces the number of op fires that that the defenders get, and I'm just thinking, oh, that's interesting. I wonder if that's kind of also pushing the balance back towards the Prussian side. And then the next thing I thought about was, since this game has to go the distance,
Right.
right? It's not like we got army morale rolls that are going to cause the game to end shorter because somebody hit a morale level, because
Right.
it's not really the way the victory conditions work. Uh, it just made me realize that artillery ammunition is probably something that matters, because especially when I see the woeful asymmetry in how many guns you've got versus how many I've got, I'm sitting here thinking, what's to stop you? Now, I know Eric, and I know Eric would never do this, but what's to stop you from just sitting there and just plinking away with the artillery for 8 hours and then attacking, you know, in the ninth, 10th, 11th, and 12th hours, right?
It sounds like you must have listened in on our conversation that David and I had.
I did not.
I mean,
I'm
that's. I mean, to be honest with you, when we were looking at the setup here for the Prussians,
Yeah,
we have this tremendous advantage in artillery,
it's
and so
spectacular.
there's no point in us coming charging headlong into you with the infantry. And even if we did, our infantry, their fire combat is better than yours. So I'm like, we shouldn't be doing any bayonet charges anytime
Right.
soon,
Yeah,
because we
just
just sit
gunfire.
there and then we blast you with our
Right.
cannons, and then we get in close and we blast you with our musketry,
Right.
and we might just be able to win just on firepower alone. And I can't remember what the rule for the tenacious Russians, but I definitely know you get that morale benefit when you are engaged in close combat. I don't know
Right.
if it applies to every other morale check you have to make,
Uh,
but
oh,
um,
let's
but I'm just like,
double check
there's no sense in us,
Yeah.
running headlong into you. We're just going to hit you and move and
Yeah.
hit you, and so like these batteries are just going to start opening up and
Right.
slowly creeping forward. It's a creeping barrage kind of thing. So
Yeah. Yeah. It's interesting. I'm trying to figure it out, because it's so unusual for there to be 4 increment artillery units. I can't think of, boy, I'm not sure if I can think of any other units that are 4 increments in the rest of the series. There weren't any at Colon, were there?
no, Colon.
It's just
No,
two.
Colon was two. Yeah. So the
Yeah.
Austrians had two, the Prussians had two. So yeah. So these are like, I mean, it's nuts. So we can, I'm just going to sit out of range. A lot of your guns have a range of,
Like
8 or 9 or
8 or 9.
whatever.
Yeah.
And my
Right.
12 pounders have got a longer range. They just sit there and just
Right.
blast at you and
Sure.
wear you out, wear you out, wear you out, and then
Yeah.
come, close with you eventually. Um, and I don't see any point of doing. There doesn't seem to be anything as far as how the game's set up that
To
to
motivate
motivate
you
me to do anything otherwise.
to do anything else.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm thinking that um, artillery ammunition tracking would give you pause. You
Well,
might
and I don't
still
even know
do
how
it.
that works because I don't think we've ever played with artillery
Oh, no,
ammunition
no,
in all the
no,
games
no.
we.
There isn't any in the entire
Oh,
system. There
oh
isn't
wow.
any.
Okay.
I'm realizing here that partially because of the long time span of this scenario,
Right.
that and the overwhelming artillery advantage, that that it feels like it's asking the player to do something unreasonable, and
Right.
that is just sit there and bombard for 8 hours, which just seems crazy, right? Because you just kind of know that at some point that wouldn't make sense from an artillery ammunition perspective. I'm just trying to figure out what why is it this is so obvious to me, and Matthew evidently didn't see it that way.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I've read a little bit about the battle itself, and it looked
Mm-hmm.
like, the Frederick does this big sort of end run around,
Yep.
forces the Russians to change their facing and
Yep.
disposition,
Right.
um, and then, as usual, he seems to be a terribly impatient person,
Yes.
and stuff starts to go in instead of like, well, let's soften them up, you know, kind of a thing. But I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that the artillery didn't have quite the same. It wasn't like in the Napoleonic period where, yes, you could have a long artillery exchange. You'd have a grand battery or you'd have whatever else, and you would
Yeah.
be softening up the guy for an hour before you finally sent in something because you're
Right.
trying to get him to break or wear him down or whatever. Or in some cases,
Right.
I mean, they're sitting there under fire for 2 or 3 hours before
Right.
something finally happens. But I don't see anything like that happening in the 7 Years' War. Um,
Right.
so, but unless there's a rule for it, there is a what is it? There was an interesting rule or a game I played, which was Marengo, and one of the rules was the Austrians have a superiority of artillery at Marengo.
Okay.
They've got, I don't know, 100 guns, and the French have got like 30 or something like that.
Okay.
But the rules specify that if you're on this attack order or whatever it is, you can only fire for like 2 turns before you then have to send in your troops. So you can't just sit back and let the artillery
Mm,
do the work because that's not what the Austrian commanders did at that time period. They're still very much in this 7 Years' War mode. Um,
interesting.
yeah, yeah, and so that's how they dealt with
Yeah.
that because otherwise it's just like,
Right.
I'm just going to sit here and blow the stuffing out of the French. Um,
Yeah, but by the same token, that feels. I mean, it's one of those things where a game designer really has a challenge, right?
yeah,
Because you don't want to make an idiot rule that just says, "Well, they wouldn't have done that." It's like, well, wait a minute, am I playing the game or is the game playing me?
yeah,
You know, um, it seems more like it ought to give you motivations to do things the way they were doing them, or penalties to pay if you start doing things differently.
right,
I'm looking at the Wikipedia article, and because I was just looking for like gun counts,
right,
and I see 167 Prussian guns and 210 Russian guns. Now, to be fair, I've got lots of units.
right.
It's just that a lot of them are not particularly effective unless you get close. I'm just going to sit here and look. How many do I have? That's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 1, 2, 3, 34. I see 34 increments of artillery for the Russians.
Right.
And for the Prussians, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 40 increments of 12 pounders alone. Excuse me, 42.
Yeah.
And then that's going to be 56, 66, 67. I'm, I'm just trying to square that. Um, I mean, I don't know that the game system really specifies how many guns a strength point is. I don't think it does it? Here I am looking. I was thinking it might be under scale.
You would think so. Game
Uh,
scale.
game
Each
scale. Each
artillery strength
artillery
point
strength
represents
point.
2 guns of a similar type or size.
Yeah, so that's interesting. I don't know if the 210 was counting, a bunch of battalion guns that are below the level of this, but
Right.
it's well, of course. I mean, well, here's another way of looking at that. What number did I just come up with for your number of steps? It was like 67 or so.
Yeah.
So that's
Ours doesn't necessarily. Does that add up
yeah.
to? Uh,
The in the I'm looking at the Wikipedia for the battle, and it said that the Frederick had 167 guns, and the
Right.
Russians had 210 guns.
Right. Yeah, that's what I was reading, and I'm just trying to figure out how is it that that either means that those 200 guns include a lot of battalion guns that are below the level of this game to represent, because otherwise it looks like there's 210 guns divided by 34 steps. That's like 6 guns per strength point, not 2.
right.
And yours is closer to that, right? Yours, if you've got like 60 or 70 steps, well, times 2, that's 140, 130. That's
Right.
pretty close to your number there. So I don't know. I'm kind of head scratching here a little bit, trying to figure out if is some of the problem that the ratios of the artillery are skewed. That doesn't really change it that much, because if there's no limit to the artillery, there's still no reason for you to do anything except just fire, 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 fire. But at least it would be a less effective strategy because you just have fewer guns.
Right.
I don't know. I'm just head scratching here, trying to figure out why you wouldn't just do that and never come close with me. And to your point, you're absolutely right. If you do close, just close and just do nothing but gunfighting.
Yep.
And I think, having just reread Tenacious Russians, so so the effect is when defending in close combat. So there's no advantage if I'm close assaulting you, for
Right.
example. It has a number of benefits, and in addition to the morale modifiers already listed for close combat, Russian infantry and artillery units stacked with them have their ERs modified by -10 for morale checks, including fire combat results, friendly unit retreats, and rally. Okay, so they're more likely to be able to rally. They're less likely to be shaken by fire combat.
Mm-hmm.
And less likely to freak out from friendly units retreating through them. That still seems like kind of weak sauce there, because I mean, it's funny. It just opens the door for a strategy exactly like what you're talking about. I'm trying to figure out A, why wasn't that obvious to the game designer, and B, what in the world can I do about it?
Yeah, and that's the problem that you're going to have is,
Mm-hmm.
are you going to come out and fight me? You know, so either you stay there and you get bombarded until
Right.
eventually things start to come off, the wheels start to come off, and
Yeah.
then we come and
Right.
attack you, or you come out and you attack us, right?
Right. Which is really odd, because that wasn't at all what happened.
No, no. And so
And
that's why, I mean, that's why when you brought it up, I was giggling to myself because that's exactly
yeah.
what David and I talked about. We're just like, well, why the heck should we do anything? We'll just sit here and pound you for an hour or 2 or 3 or 4
Yeah.
until
Yeah.
stuff starts to wear down and fall apart. And then
Right.
we come
Right.
in and we blast you, kind of a thing. So,
Yeah. And it's just nothing but gunfire and no close combat if you don't have to.
yeah,
And that doesn't feel remotely right. And yet, that's from a game perspective seems like exactly the right thing to do. And I don't know
well,
why anybody
and it might have
would do
been,
anything else.
it might have been the right thing for Frederick to do. And yet he didn't do it.
It might have been, except you know as well as I do that he didn't have enough artillery to sit there and fire, or enough ammunition for his artillery to sit there and fire for 4 hours.
Right.
So,
Or potentially. I mean, I
right
have
off,
no idea but yes,
yeah,
I don't know that their our ammunition train was quite as thorough. But as
yeah,
I say, I don't know enough about
interesting.
the minutia of the 7 Years' War to
Yeah,
know how large
yeah,
their ammunition train was and all that jazz. So
right, right. Interesting. Okay, all right.
Well, we're back to your
Back to your role, Michael.
Okay, all right. Um, and if you believe AI, by the way, and you're welcome to, during the 7 Years' War, a typical field cannon would carry around 100 rounds of solid shot and 30 rounds of grape shot per piece, depending on the specific cannon and army involved. Interesting. Okay. All right. Well, I just thought I'd throw that out there. Okay. All right. So, ho.
Oh, that's a big one. That's going to move the clock.
Moves the clock again. And um, yeah, and obviously that's another wing potential for you if you're
That
inclined.
is. All right. David, do you have anything you want to move? Do you want to
no,
take a wing or no? Okay.
no.
I will activate this group of infantry here, and then I'll activate these guns over here. So these guys are all going to just form march column. See if I can do this. There, that's one. And that's going to be uh, two. And that's going to be three. And then four to go back. So they're all going to do the same thing. They're going to line up there behind their friends.
Alrighty then.
And this guy's going to go forward and he's going to unlimber. And then these guys are going to move forward. And these guys are going to move forward. And we'll mark everybody as finished. Oh, and let's see what else. I'm going to, whoops, he's not ready to go yet. Finish. I should probably memorize all of these things. I'm moving them enough. And then I'll move these independent dragoons down here.
I'm sorry, memorize all what things?
Oh, the control this, control
Oh,
that.
yeah, I know. It doesn't help matters that you'll then play tomorrow night
Yep. And it's a
and
different
use the wrong
story.
ones.
Yeah. So, David, where were you going to take these dragoons here, this group of dragoons? Are you moving them towards the forest or?
Yeah, they're moving up to the northeast there. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Then I'll take these guys and I'll park them where would be good. I'll park them over towards those guns that I just moved. So let's go. Let's see where I can sneak through. Where's there a gap? There's a gap there. So 1, 2, 3. Whoops. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, we'll mark them as finished also. So Control N. Cool. All right, that was my big exciting move. I guess it's time for me to throw some dice. Here we go. Oh, it's another special thing for the Russians, an 08. That is a pick one command for a free movement segment.
Oh, that
Initiative
is a free
required.
movement. All right. Well, it's supreme. Um, and that would be looking. Oh, okay. All right. I guess I will do uh, another unpronounceable one. Wow.
That sounds
Li
LI.
Libomirsky. What in the world? All right, we're just gonna roll. See what we get. Oh, that's probably enough.
Yeah.
Let's just flip him over and take a look. Oh yeah. All right, very good. And so then that's gonna be just that's a U. Okay. All right, and this is just free movement. So we're going to go ahead and free movement that guy that way. And the guns go with. Hello? What the hell is going
Does he have a unit
there?
with him?
Yeah,
Oh
there's a
yeah, there
unit
is a unit
under
there.
there.
Yeah.
Apparently I only had the leader selected. I guess that was
Okay.
the problem. So, all right. So that's that. That's free movement. So that's all. Um, I guess that's it. So then roll again.
Okay, here we go. Oh, it's one for us. A 9-0. What is that? Hasty orders.
Oh.
Other player picks one of your commands, which is activated. So you get to pick one of ours.
Uh, actually, I think I need you to flip a leader over. Didn't Kurzel already move? Or that
Oh,
wasn't a
yes, you're
special.
right. He did.
Okay.
Yep. There we go.
Okay. All right. Um, well, then I think the obvious thing to do is to have Goblin's go next.
Who is he or where is he?
He's one of David's way in the
Ah,
back.
okay.
All right. So,
Now, is this one of those he
Lens.
needs to roll or?
It doesn't say anything. It just says
Yeah, I'll let
other
you pick.
player picks one of your commands, which is activated. So it doesn't
Oh,
say roll for initiative or anything like that.
oh, interesting.
So
Well,
that's
let's take a
different than
quick
command
look.
confusion. Command confusion is where the other player
Right.
picks it and then you have to roll for initiative. This is
Yeah.
one where the other
Normal
player
activation
picks.
finished when done. Independents can only be activated as part of the activation if they were stacked with a unit of the command. If the activated command leader is stacked with units of another command, he may attach them. Okay, yeah, that is different than what we've seen in some of the other titles. So, all right, so he's activated. There you go.
Okay, so he's activated, huh? All right, so let's see what we want to do with him. All right, we got a
I mean, there's,
one,
yeah.
2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's not gonna help very much, but
I mean, you could march over the guys, can't you?
Sure, yeah,
It's
yeah.
not going to
As long as you
trigger a
don't,
disorder check because they're
no,
all
as long as you don't exceed stacking, since your facing's the same, your formation's the same. There's no chance for disorder.
yeah. So I mean, even this guy could go up here, right? And he'd be that hex would be stacked with that hex, right? But that's not going to, right? Everybody can
Oh,
still
that's
1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, everyone can move forward, right?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
everybody can move forward. Yeah.
yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4. And where do we want to put the commander? We'll put the commander.
Well, you still have this guy here. He's
Okay.
he's part of it too, I believe, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. He's part of that the other battalion that's part of that regiment. So 1, 2, 3, 4. You could put him here, I guess.
Yeah, let's go to there. That's fine.
Mm-hmm.
And all right, where do we want to end up? Let's see.
I wonder, and I always have, how realistic that is.
How realistic what is?
That the two lines could pass through each other without causing chaos. I mean, part of that feels like a question of stacking, right? But if
Mhm.
you've got 4 or more increments there, you do have enough to go from one end of the hex to the other. And if you do, how is it somebody else can come through? I mean, I don't know enough about the drill manuals of the day. It feels funny to me
Yeah.
because how do they get through?
All right, let me
See.
roll for the other activation. So a 46. So that's going to be another one for us, I guess.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Okay. All right. So, David, do you have some other people you want to move or leave it to something else?
Um, no, at the moment I'm in no hurry. So if you,
Okay. Let's see who I can move over here. So we will take a look. I've got some more infantry that hasn't moved around yet. So who does this guy belong to? That is Derek. And these guys are his. So I'll activate this chap here. And it looks like he's got those 4 battalions. So
Mm-hmm.
1, 2, 3, 4. He's moving up this way. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then he can come up here and flip.
Sure how he did that because there was a one
Was
hex
he?
gap
Oh, okay.
between them.
I couldn't remember
Yeah.
where the gap was on which side.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, that's it. Over to you, David.
All righty.
okay, boom.
Oh, that's another one for us.
Yes.
Potentially a wing and a prayer. You want to do anything, Dave? You've still got some artillery to move.
I got still two. I got a couple commands left to move here, and some artillery. Yes. But let's see here. Let's. How about Asperg?
Okay.
Oh, that's our Bulow is the command. I was looking
Yes.
at that.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. All right. So these two. 2, 3, 4. Now are these two mine? I keep it because I keep. Yeah, I think those.
Yes, they are.
Oh, because I
Yeah, they
know
belong
I
to
keep moving.
Bulow.
1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3 there. And let's see where this guy's gonna end up. He's gonna end up. Let's keep him a little bit there. It keeps everybody in command. All right. And then that's. Now it's back to you, Michael.
All righty. Bang, bang.
Nope, that's one
Ooh,
for you, and we move the
that
clock.
advances the clock.
And another wing for you.
Gadzooks. Okay. Uh, do I want to move a wing? Part of the problem, I think, is that a lot of my wings are scattered all over Hell's Half Acre. I'm not sure how easily I could put a wing together, even if I wanted to. Looking. I don't know that I can because my wing leaders are all kind of over here. In fact, I'm still trying to find one of my wing leaders. There's Sal, and there's the army leader. And where's the other one?
Let's see.
Gal.
Gallitson?
Gal is the other one. Where is he?
I thought Gallitson was over here somewhere. Isn't this
Uh,
Gallitson here? No, that's
no,
Groundwork.
no,
Where's Gallitson?
no.
There's Gallitson.
Oh, there we
Yeah,
go.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, all right. Yeah, so I mean, but that makes doing wing activations pretty challenging. So,
And then you've got Brown with the
oh yeah, yeah.
expeditionary force there.
Definitely want to. Nah, screw it. I'm not gonna bother. All right. We'll do this guy here from the one of my Leon guys.
Right.
So many Leon guys. And he is gonna have to roll to put himself in command, which maybe he even did. I don't think I'm gonna do anything about it, so it doesn't matter. But and what is it? Those next three? Yeah, it is. Like that.
Looks impressive.
Oh, it looks terrific. And I'll just go ahead and add these grenadiers to it just because. And and that'll be that.
Exciting.
Uh, oop, there we go. All right. And I think it's yours, Eric.
Okay. Cool, cool. Let's roll. See what we get. 66. That's,
Moves the
I
clock
think, enough to move the
again.
clock. Yeah. And that's one for us. David, you got any more people you want to shuffle about, or?
Well, I can finish the infantry over here on my wing.
Okay.
Let's see. Do this. 1, 2, 3. Down there. And this one's going to 1, 2, 3, 4. And let's see what I want to do with the, or do I want to, let's see, he started there. 1, 2, let's start, let's end him right there. Okay, and I guess I'll do this artillery over here too.
Okay.
I want to get up too far up front here. Whoops. 3. Three, 3. And the commander is going to go. Let's see. He's fine there. He's fine there. So let's go.
So I figure we can bring uh, the king up at the end, right? And have him like up here, like
Let's,
maybe move him 3 hexes forward. One,
right.
two, three,
Yeah,
four,
but
five,
he's
six,
three.
7. So
All right. So
I mean, we can move the wing leader whenever, right? 3, 4,
uh,
5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, so we could put the king there.
Yeah,
That's
wing
going to be
leader can
fine.
move. Wing leader can move during anybody's activation.
Right.
all right. I'll put him Donna with him, and actually, let's just so I don't lose track of him. Let's put him like that. And okay, so he's still got everybody in command over there.
Okay. Cool.
And these are all. And it is finished. Boom. And
All
okay.
right. That was my roll. It's over to you.
All right. Let's see what we got. Oh, there's a.
It's another big one, but not enough to move the clock. So, but
No,
that's one for us.
you still got several infantry outfits to move, don't you?
I do indeed. I do indeed. I'm trying to figure out what to do with
And
all
then,
of these
yeah,
brilliant
we got
people.
this other cavalry group here too.
Yep.
So,
And I got my cavalry over here with Sadlitz,
Right,
some more of his
right.
little buddies. Some of his little buddies. So let's see. Well, how about I'll activate this fella here. I think his name is Rater, something like that. And let's see, there all the people marked R. So we'll have 1, 2, well, let's see. 1, 2, yeah, we'll move 1, 2, 3 goes there. And we're going to turn this guy. That's 1, 2, 3, 4 goes that way. And this guy's going to turn 1, 2, 3, and he'll be there. And this guy can just move up there nice and diagonally because he's special.
there's a guy under your
Yep.
commander.
So he's 1, 2, 3, and we'll turn him 4. Just slowly bringing those guys over to the other side of the guns there. Okay. All right. That was
Who's
exciting.
who is their
His commander
commander?
is Konitz.
Okay.
Yeah. So, okay, that was it for me. I don't know whose turn it is to roll now. I think it's Michael's turn to roll.
I think it's my turn, yeah.
Yep.
And that's a
That's
tie.
a tie.
Right.
That's not a
That's
tie.
not a tie. That's definitely one for you.
All
Another
right.
wing for him.
No, it's not. He's got to
No,
roll
not a wing for me. I got to roll an
Oh,
8
that's
or
right.
better.
an 8.
Yeah.
Yeah.
8,
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
No. Okay. Deep-a-dub, deep-a-dub. All right, we'll do this knucklehead. It's probably unpronounceable. Dolgoruki.
Dolgoruki. Sounds like
Again,
a delicious
probably helps
dessert.
if you It probably helps if you say it with a little more enthusiasm, but whatever. What are you going to
You say it too fast, someone will think that you're sneezing.
do?
Dalgaruki.
Yes.
Dalgaruki. There
Yeah,
we go.
yeah. All right. Well, that's good stuff. All right. So let's see what we got going on here. Probably needs to roll. Probably not in command. Just for laughs, I'll look. No, he's not. That's fine. And so let's see what we can do here. And 1, 2, 3, 4. And then these guys are gonna
Limber up.
limber up, and they all have to pick a hex to move into.
Yep.
And so that's 2 they have each spent. And so that's 4. Oh, you know what? Take it back. I'm going to do it that way. And 4 for them. All right. So those 3 are all finished. And I'll put the commander up here somewheres. Like maybe right there. And we'll go ahead and activate these grenadiers. Yeah, these grenadiers behind them.
Mm-hmm.
2, 3, 4. And I think that'll do that for those guys.
Exciting.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
falling
pretty
right
exciting.
into our plan, David.
Yeah, I see that.
I think your plan was for me to stand there and take it, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that was. You're
Yeah.
falling right into it. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. Sure, why not? Okay. Cool. I think you rolled that one, so
I did,
time
yeah.
for me.
Right.
And that's another almost, but not quite,
Yep.
moving the clock forward. So,
Right.
David, do you want to move some stuff? Or otherwise, I can push a few people around on the board.
Let me move the
Oh,
cavalry over there, and
Okay.
then we'll be done.
you,
And
you could move guys around in the graveyard instead if you'd rather not move them on the
Oh,
board.
that's it. We have a necromancer that's going to be resurrecting the army of the dead. It's like
That's what you
it's
need.
like the what was it the what was the character from Game of Thrones? There was some ice guy who
Mm,
raised armies from the dead. I can't remember what he was. He was like a Lich King or something like that. So,
yeah.
all right. Well, don't forget. There we go. All right. It's starting to shape up. Starting to look exciting.
all right, and I guess are we back to me?
Yep.
Hmm.
That's another one for us. Let's see. And I've got Fleming, Ian Fleming, who's joining us. Let's see, Mr.
Ian
Fleming.
Fleming is joining us?
I do. I've got Ian Fleming is on my side.
Bond, James Bond.
Exactly.
That's really
Exactly.
weird.
Yep, time to worry. So here's Mr. Ian Fleming. Let's bring his troops up, shall we? So let's get them, we'll get them kind of following this way. So 1, 2, 3, and 3. And then this guy, he's not stacked with anybody. No, he's not. Okay. So this guy's going to turn. That's 1, 2, 3, and that's 4. And this guy's going to do the same thing. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And their colleagues down here. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And this guy is then going to turn 1, 2, 3, and a half gets him here. All right, and we will then flip this big bad boy over. And let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, he's too far away. So where can I park Konitz? I guess I could put him here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that's where I can put Konitz. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, we'll set. That'll be fine. He'll still be able to keep everybody happy. Okay, that was my big exciting move.
Very good. Very good. And is it back to me to roll?
I think so. I think David rolled that last one, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. All right.
That's
Right,
another
let's
one for us.
see.
I tell you.
All y'all again. Oh, well, I mean, obviously with a +3, you expect
Yep.
you're going to get to go.
Yep. So let's see, David. Do you've got anything left, or everything's moved at this
Nope,
point?
it's all you.
It's all me, and I've only got one command left, too, and that's this heavy cavalry over here with Sadlitz. So we need to, if we move that one, we need to move the king, correct? Because
Correct.
we'd have
Yeah,
to
if
move
you're going to
him.
move the king, that would be the time to do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So that'll be our last activation. So yeah, any other leaders would need to get moved at the same time, I guess. Any other wing leaders that haven't moved. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'll just move that guy up that way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this guy's going to turn. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 gets him. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. Okay. So he's there facing that way. And this guy, if he's going to consolidate, it's going to cost him 2 to consolidate.
Yeah, should be.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then, so that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 gets him there. And then his commander's there. Sadlitz is there. Okay, so that's going to keep everybody happy there. And then now let's go over to King Friedrich. So Dona is here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. So we can put the king here with that dragoon unit, and everyone should still be in command on that part of the universe. Cool. And we can again go ahead and flip him. And do I want to move Manteuffel? I don't think I need to. Everybody is still in command of Manteuffel. Okay. Okay, cool, cool. I think that's it for us, unless there's anything I'm missing, David.
I don't see anybody that hasn't moved here yet.
Okay. All right, cool, cool. Let's go ahead and I don't know whose
And
roll it is now.
where did the
Oh,
king
Michael
go?
rolled. The king is here, stacked with this dragoon unit. So
Ah, I got okay.
don't charge with the king on board. Right?
Okie doke.
Don't pull a the Napoleon charging at Austerlitz and then getting surrounded by Austrians and Russians. That was an embarrassing move there. So, all right, it's my turn to roll. So here we go. A 3-0. That's one for us, whatever a 3-0 is. Command confusion. No, we are a 3. So that's pick one command and possible independence for a fire combat or close combat segment. Okay.
Okay.
So for us, that's only going to be any artillery that's stacked with a command, right? Since we don't
Yep.
have that
Yep.
independent
Yeah.
command guy,
That's right.
he
Yeah.
can't do
He
anything.
probably would have been able to do
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
So that doesn't do us any good this turn. That is sad. We're going to cry a little bit. And then we'll roll again, see what we get. A 72. That's another one for us, but we can't use it. So it's over to you, Michael.
Alrighty. Yeah, it is always a little disheartening when you lose out on those things.
Yeah, well, it is what it is.
Okay, so it's for me, is it?
Yep.
All right.
You didn't have to roll. I rolled.
No, I know I
Yeah.
didn't. I realized I misapprehended your meaning.
Yeah.
So, okay. I guess I'll do G.
G.
The independent cavalry leader over here on the left, Gao Graben.
Okay.
Gao Graben. And he's right by Fairmore, so everybody's in command there. So
Yep.
that's nice. Don't even have to roll. What a deal. All right, and I guess we will just start moving. And I'm going to move that way. Okay, here we go. Moving. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we'll need to roll some disorder checks for running over the top of that infantry unit there. So disorder applies to each of them. So I'll roll for the cavalry first, just because they were moving. And for the infantry, because they got moved over. Gonna guess that with the leader there, 42 should be plenty. Oh my gosh. Yeah, he's not very good. I'm gonna guess that they're. Oh my word. Okay, never mind. He's fine. Okay, all right, and then we'll use the other unit behind him. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Basically, just follow the leader there.
Right.
And he'll roll disorder, and he is disordered almost certainly. And I just got to find disorder. There we go. And then the infantry again will roll. Special result for movement. Not sure what we're going to get on that. For the love
Disorder
of Pete.
movement
Where is it?
is 0-8. If
Yeah.
unit is printed ER of 26 or better, re-roll with a +10. Otherwise, re-roll with no ER modifier.
Uh,
So I don't know what their morale is.
wait a minute. I'm confused. Oh, God. Would it help if I looked in the right place? I'm sorry, I was looking on the wrong tables entirely. So, yeah, he's a 20.
Right. So you
So
would just
re-roll with
re-roll
no
with no
modifier.
modifier.
Right. All right. So
Okay.
he's fine. Okay. All right. All right. And then we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And same thing. He's going to roll because he went over the top of those. Wow. That is
Oh,
definitely, he is disordered.
yep.
And boom. And then the grenadiers will roll also, and they're fine. All right. And then these guys in the back are going to come up. Hello. Uh, there we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 4, 5, 6, like that. So they're both going to
Okay.
have to do the exact same thing. So we're going to roll for the lead cavalry unit. Wow, I've got some mad skills here. You'll notice I'm not even looking.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my God. Well, so much for just putting the leader on top of the one that's disordered, right?
Yeah.
And then
Grenadiers.
the grenadiers. I'm trying to decide. Were those guys eligible to have moved together?
Who?
Nah, I was just trying to work through the mechanics of that. They still got moved through twice, so it
Yeah.
doesn't matter. All right. About Yeah, he's fine. Okay. All right, and then we'll now have to put the commander somewhere to stanch the most bleeding, and I guess he'll have to go there and flip.
Would you, now, one of them would be out of command then, right?
No, because these two are both part of the same outfit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're the
So
same regiment.
yeah, I mean, fundamentally they were like that. Yeah. So okay, well I think that's it.
Cool.
What else we got?
Uh,
Whose role is it?
it's your roll.
Oh, well,
No,
that's
actually,
why
no.
nobody.
It's David's roll because I
David's role.
rolled and then you
Okay.
did it. So then it's David's
All right.
turn.
All right.
Not one for us, but it goes to you.
Oh, what a shame. Okay. Um, that's grand. Okay, so there's there and there's there. And all right, we'll go ahead and do um, this guy M here on the back row. And we're going to roll to see if he can put himself in command. He is so in command, it's scary. In fact, really, he probably needs to consult his pharmacist about whether this is even a good thing for him to be so in command. All right, so we're all going to get together. That's what we're going to do. We're all going to get together. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. It's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And so I guess the guys on the ends both rapid marched.
So
So
is
I'll
this guy
do.
in 2 hexes or in 1 hexes?
Oh,
I
so
thought
he's
he
in one.
consolidated.
No,
Yeah.
no, he did. He
Okay.
did. Yeah. I must have landed badly. So I'm going to roll for his disorder check. And yeah, that's a fair chance that he. Oh, no, he's better than I thought. All right. And then the other one, his disorder check, and he's absolutely disordered. So we all know where the leader's going.
Yep.
And flip. And there we go.
Exciting.
All righty. And now I think it is my roll,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
Big move on the
Big
clock. And because the king has moved, um, oh no, it doesn't matter anyway. Okay. All right. So it's mine again.
Because now we still have a +2 and you have a +2, right?
No, you've got a +3
Oh, okay.
because you lose 2 when the army leader moves.
Ah, okay.
So you still have a +1 net.
Okay.
So there's that. All right. Let's see who else needs to advance. All right, so we're gonna do. Who's this knucklehead? This is. Um, that can't be a word, is it? Fast. His name is Fast.
His name is Fast.
That is so weird.
General of
Okay.
Brigade Fast.
I don't know, why is he not a hussar leader? That seems more reasonable, doesn't it?
Because the Russians don't speak English.
Oh,
Fast means
okay.
something different in Russian, right?
Apparently it does.
Yeah.
Apparently it does. How funny. Okay. All right. Fine. So let's see. What do we want to do here? 1, 2, 3, 4. Sure. Why not? All right. So we're going to go ahead and roll to see he puts himself in command.
Yeah.
Very much so. Yeah. Okay. So we're going to go 1, 2, and then 3, 4. And it's going to get a little bit more complicated for the rest of these guys. How am I going to do this? Oh, that's right. These guys are all super slow. So that just, oh, you know what? That guy just moved more than he was allowed to move.
Yeah, because he only moves 3.
I didn't realize that he was.
A little pokey.
Yeah. All right. So that's 2 there.
Yep.
And he must have jogged. Well, it doesn't matter which way he jogged. Let's do that. That's, oh, yeah, okay, that's 3. Bowie, are you sitting on my phone? Keeping my phone warm for me. Very thoughtful of you. I love it when he just kind of looks. It's like, what was that all about?
Is that where he would be if he was in these 2 hexes?
Well,
if he's in these 2 hexes,
so
wouldn't it be?
So he was here.
Yeah.
2.
1,
Yeah,
2, 3.
Oh, okay.
What's wrong
okay.
with that?
No, I wasn't sure how he was zigzagging over there.
Okay.
So yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So then what? Let me consult a chart or two. maneuvering these guys is probably a fool's errand, but whatever. Um, so here I am. If I'm... Wow. Okay. So for my guys to turn the easy way
Right.
requires all 3 movement points.
Wow.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
Right. Well, all right. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Oh, this probably isn't going to end up very well. Ah, well, whatever. I don't care. Um, two, two, and then oh, that's the guns there. All right, and then we will prolong those guns there, and we
Well,
will,
now they were in 2 hexes, so wouldn't they still be in
which
2?
means that they could be in either hex. Remember, we went through that a couple of weeks ago.
Oh,
That
Yeah.
since they magically are in
Can,
either or both hexes at your preference.
well, they're in both hexes when you're in 2 hex line, and then when your 2 hex line moves out, then they would consolidate into a
Then they
single
have to
hex. Yeah.
consolidate into one or the other, but it's your
Yeah.
choice. Yeah, and that's a little weird. Um. Okay. Okay. Actually, I take that back. I think I will just flip both of those over. Hello? Oh, probably help if I use the right keys. All right. So he is. So that's 4. And then. Select the unit you mean to move. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so those are both moving that way. All right, and then what do we do with this guy? Doing the same thing, maybe? That's funny. Did I do that?
What?
I didn't realize I'd flipped over this one here. I must have accidentally flipped him over. I didn't intend to, but I mean that's fine because I'm perfectly happy moving him out of the way anyway. So 2. All right, very good. So he's flipped over. He's done. Bunch of guys are going to be out of command. That's no big deal. And All right.
Okay, cool.
Who's roll?
Let's see. I think that was your roll, so it's over to me. Here we go.
All right.
Someone
All
says
right.
Schrodinger's artillery.
Yes, exactly.
If you look at it, you see where it's at. If you don't look at it, you don't know where it's at. So
That's right. You
yeah,
you can tell how fast it's going.
yep, yep.
Oh no, that's Heisenberg. Sorry.
That's a different one
Yeah,
entirely.
different confusing German scientist. Yeah. Okay, very good. All right. I guess we'll just keep on going with these knuckleheads over here. Oh, these guys are independent units. Hmm, interesting. Forgotten about that.
Oh, the grenadiers that are over there. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. All right, so we'll go ahead and activate this knucklehead here, and we'll roll. And he is certainly not doing any rapid marching. Not that he should be
Right.
doing rapid marching anyway, because who are we kidding? Oh my gosh. Um, so I will.
Are these grenadiers also independent?
Yeah,
Alan?
no, those are the two independent units. They actually are in command though, because they're within reach of this guy. So I need to get them going too. Uh,
I could see why Frederick made this big march around. Trying to attack across that creek would have been problematic.
oh yeah, yeah. I mean, it really doesn't make that. I remember the first time I ever looked at the map, and I'm like, what were they thinking with their backs to a creek like that? Right? That's
Yeah.
crazy. But it wasn't the plan. It just kind of worked that way. Okay. And does it matter? Oh, yeah. What the hell? All right. So I'm just going to go ahead and put him.
He's only got a command range of 2.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, everybody basically
Has
has
to
to stay
stay. Yeah.
very, very in line together. There's
Right.
none of
Yeah.
this, flapping around. So flip him over. Flip him over. Yeah. So it means they're very unwieldy. And actually, that is one thing I kind of really like about the system is you realize that those command radiuses really have implications as to how you have to maneuver. How
Yeah.
you know, these these Prussian units, it's like I can trust him to go do that. I don't need to be watching him, right? But these guys are all like, if there's not a guy immediately to your left and a guy immediately to your right, you just don't know what to do when you stop.
Right.
And
Well, and I think it's also the rank. I mean, the Fast and Thiessen are both brigadiers, and everybody else is a general of some sort, right? If you're just
oh, that's
looking at them,
interesting.
yeah. So
Interesting.
it's
Okay.
they're a lower ranked officer, so maybe they're less
Right.
experienced or whatever the case might be. But
Right.
I
But
thought
I
that
mean,
might
but let's
have.
be clear. Let's
Yeah.
be true. The troops are shite.
Oh, yeah, they're not your best
So
and brightest.
no. So I mean, if you'd have to keep very tight thumb on them in order to expect them to do anything. And so if you, I mean, if you do exactly what they've done there, like given commander a really short command radius, those troops all have to stay in a very tidy arrangement, and all hell breaks loose if they get broken into.
Right.
Which kind of feels right, doesn't it?
Yeah. One of
All right.
our viewers says it. He says it's Heisenberg's artillery. The Heisenberg
Yeah,
uncertainty. Yes, Heisenberg
yeah,
uncertainty.
exactly. That
Yes.
was the one I was thinking
Yeah.
about when I realized I was going with the speed versus position thing.
Yeah.
Now, are
Yeah.
these guys in a 2 hex column? Is that what it is?
Yes, they are.
March column. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, they can do that, right?
Yeah.
Because they're. I don't see anything that would stop them from doing it.
I don't think there's a minimum size for. Um,
Yeah, and they were in line,
they were in line,
and then they
and
turned that way, and so it cost them 3 movement points. The way I'm looking at it.
yeah,
Yeah, just to turn and face that way.
exactly.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
But that,
I mean, it's not good. There's nothing good happening here. All right, David, your roll.
my roll. Bam.
Okay.
No.
No movement. It's, another one does, but it goes to you.
Okay. All right. All right. So we'll go with K back here. And need to roll for him. Probably not. It's okay. I'm not going to do anything fancy anyway. Really just going to 1, 2, 3, 4.
Kokoshkin.
And then 1, 2, 3. So didn't need to do anything fancy
There you go.
anyway. So there we go. All right. And then it's back to me to roll.
That's going to move the
And
clock.
that moves our clock. So now we're down to a 6 out of 10 because we're still pretty fresh here early in the day. And guess we'll move whoever Diaz.
Why not? Yes.
These polyglot armies are just something else.
I'm going to say D's. Deets.
Yeah.
Deets. There's no
Yeah, I
T, but
guess.
D's.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. One, 2, 3, 4, and that'll be that. All right, Eric.
All right, here we go. Ho! It is a hasty order for you.
That's a Russian 9.
Yep, hasty
Okay.
order. So it
does that mean
really does not mean anything.
That means we tell you who to activate, and it's
Other player picks one of your commands.
Yeah, it probably doesn't mean much because at the rate we're going, I'm probably going to get to move everybody anyway.
Yeah.
But I guess the one thing that it does mean, though, is that the activation, and again, it doesn't mean a whole lot at the moment, but it means that no independents can activate with it.
Right.
That's the other thing about it that's potentially interesting.
Yeah. Well, who hasn't moved yet? I don't think this guy back here has moved yet, right?
No, he has not moved yet.
That's Sievers. And
there's this guy here.
Yep, that's right.
Pannon.
And this guy here.
No, he moved.
Oh, no, he got a free move.
Yeah.
Remember that was free move, so he hadn't actually activated yet.
So, okay. Well, go ahead and move this guy here in the back for what it's worth.
Okay.
Or actually, wait. No, let's go ahead and move this guy here.
I'm sorry. That guy there.
Yeah, the guy that got the free move.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Alrighty. Oh, that's funny. Those guys shouldn't be marked as finished. The artillery, because they didn't actually activate. They just moved along with the
Yeah,
command. So,
but
but
didn't they
they would,
fire?
Yeah, but they prolonged.
yeah, but they did as part of that special movement.
Oh, so it
Remember,
doesn't
they were
count?
well, it was a movement segment only.
Yes.
So the command isn't marked as finished because the command hasn't activated. That means the artillery hasn't activated either, but
So
because they were stacked with
did the command move though? I
the
mean,
command,
did the artillery move with it?
the artillery moved with the infantry that they
Ah,
were
okay.
stacked with, and so they didn't activate. The command didn't activate. They all just for free.
Oh,
So they
okay.
shouldn't be marked as finished. And no, they haven't fired because there's nobody in range.
Right.
Um, 4, 6, 8, 10. Yeah, getting close, but not there yet. All right. Okay. All right. So then, and that would be LI.
Right. So then the
Okay.
question is, if if the infantry move, then the artillery can't move with them because independents aren't activated with this one.
Right. Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Absolutely. Well, let's take a look because this one is different than it usually is, so it's probably worth a double check. Um, Oh no, sorry. Independents may only be activated as part of this activation if they are stacked with a unit of the command. So
Oh, okay. Cool.
obviously most of the time you can pick independents anywhere on the board
Mm-hmm.
when you do a proper
Oh,
activation.
okay.
But
Okay.
this is a weird activation and it would only apply to units stacked with you. So yes, they could move again.
Cool.
I don't know if I want them to. I mean, I might. I mean, I could. Um, Who is this guy? Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah. So why not? Okay. All right. So we'll go ahead and we will do that. We are going to move everybody one that way, and then this guy's going to move one, two, three. Yeah. And figure out what the right thing is for the. Oh yeah, I can't move any other independent units because that's it. So all
Right.
right, well then there we go. All right, so now those guys genuinely are finished, and this guy's genuinely finished, and sure was hasty.
There you go.
Okay, Eric, roll again.
Sure. Here we go. And that's going to move the clock.
And moves the clock
Let's
fo
see.
damn show.
So,
Boom.
War at Sea says, "Is this system similar to Labatai?" I'm only going to say it's similar in scale, in that we're
Yeah,
moving. The units are battalions, the cavalry are regiments, and the hexes are about 100 yards. But other than that, and of course, obviously the the number of increments is the unit or the number that's
right.
on the left.
The
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 number of movement points is
time.
on the right. But a lot of the other stuff is totally different. The game system itself is much different than Labatai.
Right. Yeah.
So,
The time scale is the same.
yep, it's
The
20-minute
strength
turns.
points
Yep,
scale is the same. The physical board size is the same. But
yep.
so that I mean they're clearly cousins. And I don't think there's any question that this system kind of was originally inspired by let's do a 7 Years of War version of
Labatai, yeah.
the original old La Bataille from the 70s and the
Yeah,
80s. Um, and then of course obviously with different rules because war was more different
yep.
than you would think considering the relatively few number of years that had passed. But you can thank good buddy um, Napoleon for that.
And I believe there is a number people that were involved were in writing the were involved in both.
Yes, and there's some influence. I'm not sure. I think the bar rules came out before the Regs 23, which influenced Regs 30 and Marie Louise. Um, so
Okay,
yeah.
I
So I think
believe that.
so a lot of stuff with I think there's some different things with bar that carried over into the regs in some capacity.
Yeah, well, that they certainly feel kind of similar in
Hmm.
that regard. They do. Um, because these rules are structured obviously very differently from the premier rules, which would have been the ones that would have been around at the time.
Right.
And they probably feel very straitjackety if you're accustomed to thinking about
Oh my
premier
gosh,
rules.
yeah, yeah. This is why when we first got Colon when it came out there in the
Yeah.
90s,
Yeah, your
you're
brain is
looking at it
exploding,
and you're
right?
like it looks like a Labatai game, but what's up with these
Right.
rules and what?
Yeah.
And so we
Well,
kind of threw our hands up in the air and
and
we
of course you were reading first edition rules too,
yeah,
which
yeah,
just, I mean, I haven't read them, so I can't say whether they were as well. I mean, I assume that the third edition rules are a lot cleaner
yeah.
and
All right.
tighter. But all right,
David,
so
go ahead and
David's roll.
roll. I think you've only got
Yeah.
one command left.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Oh
You've
Aha!
jeez.
got
Oh
10 and
jeez. There we
oh
go. There
no.
we go.
Your
God dang
leader
it.
leaves the board, is that right?
Yeah, let's read that rule. 6-2A.
It says Furmore flees
Yeah.
or returns to the map.
Right. So it's like all the others. So whenever a double aught initiative result is rolled, instead of ignoring it, we have a Furmore special result. If he's currently
Well,
on the
but
map,
there is a condition to it, so
oh,
he
there
may
is a
not.
condition. If he's within 10 hexes of a non-routed Prussian unit, he is immediately removed from the board. Um, I don't think he is.
Yeah, I think he's
2,
might be
4,
far.
6,
No, we
8,
don't have
10,
any.
12,
Yeah,
14, 15. It looks
Yeah.
like.
So,
Okay. But let's understand what it is just since we got here, right?
sure.
If he's off map from having fled via a previous result and the number is rolled, then he immediately returns to the map. Note that if he's off map from being killed or wounded, it doesn't bring him back. Well, that would be pretty cool. He gets killed and then the Lazarus
Resurrection,
effect
yes,
happens. Yeah,
exactly.
exactly.
um,
Very nice. So once this happens, though, Zorndorf Rule 3.3a-b is applied to the Russian army. 3.3a-b, which is there is no replacement for Furmore if Furmore becomes a casualty or if he leaves the map. The army decapitation rule is not used. Instead, the Russian player rolls for initiative with a wing activation number of 9, a command rating of 0. The Russian army breaks down into 3 detachments. There's a rule in the standard rules about how detachments work. Basically, they're independent armies
Right.
where each of the detachment leaders effectively becomes an army leader. Uh, these detachments are Sal's Wing, Gal's Wing, and Brown's Wing. The commands of Demiku and Gao Graben are not part of these detachments, so those leaders must roll for initiative as for any leader outside the Army leader's command range. Independent units are activated normally. This detachment command structure comes into effect the instant Furmore is lost and will continue functioning in that way until Furmore returns, if ever.
ever.
I love it. Okay. The other thing about detachments, and for those of you who played Prague, you'll remember this. Uh, Once you start activating a detachment, you got to either keep activating that same detachment, or if you switch over to another one, any further activations of that detachment will have to be treated like end turn.
Mm,
Do you recall that from?
Vaguely, yes.
yeah. Well,
So
let's
it's
cross that bridge when we get to it.
yeah, no, absolutely. But it is one of those things that
Oh
it
yeah, you're right.
really
You've got to move everything with that detachment before you can move on to the other detachment.
exactly.
Yep,
So
I
you
remember
can't
that.
just
Yeah.
you can't go lightly from here to there to here to there, reacting to things very well. You've got to
Right.
kind of commit to something, do it, and then go to the next one. So that's one of the downsides there. Okay, David, try rolling again and roll something like double aught.
Okay, why not?
That's not double aught.
That's
That is
gonna
going to
move the
advance the
clock
turn clock
again.
one more time. And do you think I've got P left?
I think that's
You
the only
got
one that's left. Yeah.
Wow, that's really interesting. I'm looking. I'm looking. You might be right. Okay. All right. Well, I
No,
guess
actually,
P.
there's another one. There's this guy you
Where?
over here.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, you. Yeah, you. Hey, you.
Hey, you. You talking to me? I'm
Are
talking to
you?
you.
Are you looking at me? Are you looking at me? All right. Well, we'll go ahead and do you. Who is
Well, he's within range
Oh, he's right.
of
Yeah,
the
I don't even
commander.
need to
Yeah.
roll. Yeah,
So.
no, absolutely. Yeah, he did not run off the field in spite of really thinking about it. All right. Well, we're not going to do anything too creative. We're just going to move forward a little bit and declare victory. Um, I don't really know what I'm going to do with these knuckleheads. These these dragoons behind them, which, if memory serves, are miserable. Yeah, so I'm just going to leave them right where they are. They're just victory points for you. Um, so, all right, that'll be that. So it's my roll. It's a
No,
9
that's a
for
hasty
you, but
order for
that
us, but we don't
doesn't
have
mean
any
anything.
hasty. Yeah.
All right, okay. And that's going to be another activation for me, and that
Yeah.
probably is P now, isn't
Yeah.
it? Okay. I should stop saying P because I keep thinking I need to go to the loo.
There we go.
Um,
It's the one of our that is the SOD Battles of Napoleon says use. Hey, use.
Use guys.
Yeah,
Yeah,
use
sorry.
guys.
I was born far too far south to immediately think of that one. Okay. All right. Well, obviously we got to activate P because that's what you got to do. And he's there and he's there. Okay. Don't know if we're going to do anything with them though. I think we're just going to leave them right where they are for the moment. And so I will then think about moving other guys, like all these independent Cossacks over here. I'll I'll move them along with this activation because you gotta. One, two,
Are you over on the east side of the map?
way over on the
Oh,
east.
okay.
One,
Okay.
two, three, 4, 5. Perfect. All right. And then these guys will move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And these guys will move 1, 2, 3.
Looks like you got stuck on the tape.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it was. Um, 4, 5, 5, 6, 5, 6, 7. All right. So they're all moved. I'm not even going to mark them as finished because we're all going to be finished here in a minute.
Yep.
And I'll just leave the other guys there. And then I think I will go ahead and move this independent unit, though. I'm going to move him to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I think we'll declare victory at that point.
Okay. It was a fun
Okay.
game. Thanks, Michael.
Yeah, boy, I really didn't see victory coming quite so fast, but
Yeah.
we did declare it, so that's it. Okay, well, so I think then all we need to do is nobody has any shaken units, so there's nobody to rally. Nobody has any routed units, so there's nobody to rally, right?
All right.
Yes.
Okay, so I think we just hit the end turn marker and we're done, right?
Yes, I believe so.
Okay, and then we're going to go to the top of the 10 o'clock hour. And we're going to hit the move markers off of everybody. And now we
Yep.
should be ready to do a save as for a 10 o'clock start.
Cool.
All right. Well, so yeah, so the game
Yeah.
is going to be very different than the one that I think I had originally expected. But once I started doing the math, I realized it made no sense. I don't think the incentives being given to you make any sense.
For the
but
Russians, you mean?
the incentives for you don't make any sense.
Well, ours is to destroy your army, so that's a perfectly good incentive. But
Well, no, the incentive meaning that you've got this gargantuan artillery armed with limitless artillery and lots of time. And so you're just going to sit there and shoot at me, which means I can't let you sit there and shoot at me
Yeah.
because then first of all, it means we'll be playing until I'm like retirement age, and and it just won't be any fun.
yeah.
So, and yet it doesn't feel right to me. It feels wrong, and I'm pondering how I'm going to post that on Consim World because it strikes me as just not right. But
Yeah.
oh well.
Yeah.
Oh, that's okay. Someone will tell me I'm all wrong. By the way, I should have mentioned earlier on, I got a message from Paul Borchers, and he says that he's got, I think he has a Battles for Quebec playtest kit.
Oh,
And
exciting.
so he sent a note over to John and Albert and me and said, hey, you guys want to do that? And we're like, well, hell yeah. So I don't know exactly when it's going to happen, but probably here pretty soon. We're going to figure out some way to do it. It's difficult because he lives so far west.
Right.
It's difficult for him to get together with us. And Albert says he's got room to set up a single mapper and he can leave it set up. So I'm not sure exactly when we're going to do it, but it is exciting that it is possibly on the way.
Yeah. No, that's really exciting. That's really
Yeah.
exciting.
Yeah,
Well,
we've been waiting
and
a long time for the next title in the series, so
yeah.
this is
Right.
a big deal.
Well, and
Isn't
have
Matthew
oh,
working on some more American Revolution with the Southern battles?
He was not the guy who did the American Revolution games, the existing ones, Monmouth and Germantown and all that, was the guy who was doing Seven for the South, as it was called.
okay.
And he's gone radio silent. I don't think anybody's heard from him in quite a while, which is disappointing. So I don't think we should really ever expect to see that one, which is disappointing because I think there'd be a lot of fun in some of that, especially because they're not battles. Most of them aren't terribly well known. But some of them would be really interesting, and they're probably reasonably compact, even at the slightly different scale of the American Revolution game. So
Right.
it would have been a lot of fun, but
Hmm.
I don't think we're expecting to see it. And then I think that the next thing that Matthew himself was thinking about was getting back to Freddy. He talked about that on Consim World. I don't know. It's probably been a year ago. Of, have we gotten a little too far from our roots of the big honking battles of Frederick the Great? And so he was asking which ones did we think would be interesting. And yeah, I don't know. A lot of people came up with suggestions, and a lot of suggestions about which ones would be more interesting, which ones would be um, more challenging to put together. Yeah, but Torgau would just be enormous. I mean, it's one of the things that you kind of forget, and this is true in the Napoleonic Wars as well, is that the armies just kept getting bigger and
Yeah.
bigger and
Yeah.
bigger, um, and kept getting more artillery heavy because they were doing that to make up for the fact that the infantry lines were getting thinner and thinner, and so Torgau would be a moose of a game, I think, in terms of lots of counters and stuff. So anyway, I'm not sure if that's going to be the next one or not, but we'll
Hmm.
see. Anyway, so yeah, that was I should have mentioned that at the top of the program,
Yeah.
but that was definitely something that is exciting for me. Looking forward to that. We'll have to maybe just bang out another turn or two of Prague just to get it off of John's table.
Right.
Uh, John John, he's finally done a huge cavalry charge on me, and we definitely need to play a couple more turns of that cavalry charge before we can really say that we've finished that game. But we'll see.
Are you playing
So
the Austrians or are you playing the Prussians?
Albert and I are the Prussians,
Ah, okay.
and so John is in this very unfamiliar space for him of playing the defense.
Okay. Oh, that's
And
definitely not his cup
and
of tea.
he
Yes.
doesn't like it at all.
Mm,
It's really bothering him terribly. Um, and we talked a lot about what do you do with the cavalry over on the right, and he kind of came up with some ideas about something he could try
right.
another time. Of course, in the meantime, his cavalry, the light cavalry, got vaporized,
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
and
Which
and
is,
so
there's no
now
way to avoid that. I
well,
mean,
no, I think what he was trying to figure out is how to just withdraw them fast enough
yeah.
that that they can meet all the medium cavalry reinforcements coming from west.
Right.
So it's no longer an unfair fight in that
Yeah.
same sort of way. And he's probably right. That's probably what you'd need to do. But anyway, so he's finally getting to do what he really wants to do, which is attack. So I've got to let him. You know,
Do you
it's only fair.
yeah, do you remember in the for the seven for the South, you remember which battles he was doing for that?
Oh boy. Um, I I'm sure I don't remember them all. Um, in Camden,
Okay.
Savannah 79,
Savannah 79.
Cowpens,
right.
Kings Mountain, Guilford Courthouse, one I've never heard of called Hobkirk's Hill,
I
Huh.
heard of that one.
and then
Um,
Utah
the Kings
Springs.
Mountain,
Utah, of course, spelled it very
right?
differently than the state is.
UTAW.
Yeah, yeah. Oh. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, so that was the 7.
Okay, I missed. Let's see.
So
All right.
Savannah,
Nana, Calpins,
Camden,
Camden,
Cowpens,
Kings
Kings
Mountain,
Mountain,
Utah
Guilford
Springs,
Courthouse,
Guilford,
Hobkirk's Hill, Utah
Hobkirk,
Springs. Yeah.
Guilford.
So I don't know, man. That to me, that one would have been really interesting. I think part of the reason we play these games is just because the games themselves are fun. But let's face it, part of the reason we play these games is to kind of learn by doing the history, right?
Yeah. Yeah. That's true.
And so for me, all of those would be battles I would have never ever fought before. I mean, the American Revolution. Well, yeah, the American Revolutionary stuff I played has been like the old Avalon Hill 1776, which is
Right.
obviously at the level of the whole Eastern Seaboard, and then really us playing Brandywine and Monmouth are
Yeah.
really the only tactical games I've ever played. I've never played any of the GMT Battles of the American Revolution. They're very well regarded. I hear people say really great things about them, but like I need another system, like I need a hole in my head. So yeah, I mean, it would have been really, really. I think I'd have learned a lot from it.
Here we've got
By
a
the
couple
way,
of, before we
oh
go,
yeah,
we've got some comments people have made. So there's a
okay.
fella who has done the Vassal module, helped work on the Vassal module for the Sound of Drums ALAO game.
Oh, okay.
He says to me that there's a version 1.5 that they're editing now, but it's probably not going to be released until they ship the Katraba game.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
yeah, but then he does ask, have you reviewed the games from, I think it's called Ad Hoc Editions, Minden, for instance? So I
Yes,
think you got
yes.
that one, didn't you?
I've got the Minden game. I've also got the Torgau game,
Okay.
and I haven't actually gotten Torgau really out. Minden I've gotten out, and I've gotten the pieces out there, and I've played one scenario. I'm still trying to get my head wrapped around the rules, and he keeps coming out with updates, versions of the rules. So I keep
Mm,
going, So I need to probably print the latest version of the rules and read them. It's like so many games where the publisher, the designer, English isn't his first language.
right.
I think there were some things that were just unnecessarily awkwardly written. I mean, don't really blame him, but just it is one of those things that, as we saw with Alao, that there were just some awkward choices of words in the rules there. But yeah, so I do have Minden, and I've got Torgau, and I understand that the next one he's announced, and a real surprise to me, is Kunnersdorf, which is like of all of the days that Frederick decided to just don't worry about reconnaissance and just charge,
Right.
that was another one of them. But
Huh.
doing that with the Russians just didn't work out.
Okay.
So anyway, that is yeah. I'd love to spend more time on those games just because I think they're interesting. I like some of the ideas he's put in there. I just need to invest the time to get the rules really figured out.
Okay.
So,
Cool.
all right. Well, campers, thank you very much for an entertaining evening, and we'll hope to chat with you again in a week's time.
Indeed. All right.
All right.
For all of our folks out there, let's see what it says here. I don't think I can talk with you guys. I have to put things away at the moment.
In
Okay. Yep. But the ad
no,
hoc
yeah,
stuff looks interesting. I just
it
don't have the
does.
money to buy everything that I want to buy.
Well,
Yeah.
I'll know more and be able to say more probably in a couple of months' time.
Okay.
I
Yeah,
need
that
the
would be
time to
cool.
do it.
Yeah, that'd
Yeah.
be cool to share that because I've seen the stuff posted on Facebook. The components, everything else looks really nice. It looks like they've done a good job with the production. But as I said, you're more of the expert in this, at least in wargaming in this time period. So you'd probably have a more educated opinion on things. So
Yeah, well,
cool,
we'll
cool.
see. We'll see what we find out. All right.
Indeed. All right. Be well, everybody.
Y'all
All
have a
right.
good week.
See
Okay.
you
See you
tomorrow.
tomorrow.
Bye
Yep.
bye.